Alright guys and girls, welcome to another episode of Astral Auto Repairs. Dig it. Guys, girls, this video is the best. If you ever want to know whether your fuel pump is going bad, not that it's bad, but if it's going bad, you definitely want to pay attention to this video. Coming up on Astral Auto Repair. This channel is a member of the Astral Stars, which means we have a zero-tolerance policy against the harassment of others. Anybody who violates that policy will be banned. For further information, please visit www.theastralstars.com. Alright, let's get right to it. Alright, if you misdiagnose, or better yet, if your mechanic misdiagnoses a fuel pump, that can cost you an arm and a leg. Because, this is what I'm saying. Say if he checks out the fuel pump and according to him it's good, so now he's leading off into other things, especially if you're getting a PO171, a PO174, or the car's taking a long time to crank, issues along no power. So if he says the fuel pump is good, it's working, everything is good, then he's going to lead off into other things. Maybe a mass airflow sensor, spark plugs, tune-up, maybe an air filter. I don't know, maybe your tires are low. Tires are low, causing a lot of friction, car ain't moving nowhere. I don't know, whatever it is. All these parts, either he changed or you changed because of a misdiagnosed fuel pump. So here, we're going to show you how to diagnose that fuel pump yourself. It's going to be cool. All right, let's get ready. We'll be right back. All right, guys, before we begin, I need you to look at this diagram. Because this is going to, if you don't look at this part of the video, the rest of it ain't going to matter to you at all. It's going to look confusing. Okay, second of all, I didn't draw that. Sylvia drew that. So, I would have drew an actual man running.
No, you wouldn't. Let me see it.
No, we don't have time right now. We don't have time.
Yeah.
All right, guys, check it out. TBI, throttle body injection. That's like saying if you have a 6-cylinder or a 4-cylinder, whatever. If you just got 1 or 2 injectors for the whole engine, that's considered throttle body injection. Then there's multi-port injection, which means if you have a 6-cylinder or 4 or an 8, you have an injector for each cylinder. It's good to, it's very important to know that. Why? Because on throttle body injection, a fuel pump will pull between 2 and 4 amps. You're like, well, how am I supposed to check that? Well, don't worry about that, guys. We didn't get to that yet. Dang it, man. You're rushing me. All right, a multi-port injection will pull between 4 and 6 amps. Now, there are some Chevy vehicles and some high-performance vehicles that the fuel pump, especially the primary fuel pump or high-amp fuel pump, they will pull between 6 and 8. But very rarely you're going to come into that. So, now...
You can't even draw an 8. You were going to draw a man.
Well, I'm rushing.
Right.
That's how... Look, here. 8. All right. Now, guys, how this works. When the car is normally running, whether it's... If there's not a lot of demand on the fuel pump, you're going to be, let's take the TBI for instance. It's going to run 2 to 4 amps. It's just like a guy or you or your girlfriend or the guy you're trying to kick, he's running down the road. Or somebody who's, or a guy that's trying to see your daughter. That's the worst thing possible right there. I went through that. So, so check it. So, running down the road, there's no kind of resistance. The road is flat. As long as you stay along that road, and maybe a little bit of incline once in a while, you're going to stay at 2 to 4 amps. Now, what happens though? When that pump puts a lot of load on that, when a lot of load is put on that person, like for instance, if he has to go uphill, now that's considering more resistance. And what's going to happen is that the amps on that fuel pump is going to be higher. Now, what does this got to do with a fuel pump? Because if you have, dang it, man, if you have your fuel pump, dang it, that's a fuel pump.
In what universe?
Let's put the strainer. Okay, all right. So you got your fuel pump. You got your fuel going through the line. Now, first of all, you got your fuel filter. Uh-oh, that's a little resistance. Going up, going to each injector. That injector got little nozzles on it. That fuel stays right there. That's causing resistance. Now when it goes back to the fuel pump, in some vehicles, will have a fuel pressure regulator in here. So if there's this fuel pump, let's say it puts out 100 psi, that fuel pressure regulator will stop it so it can keep it to a minimum of 50 psi. That's putting on resistance. So all that's calculated into this though. But if your fuel filter's clogged, your injectors are clogged, or your fuel pressure regulator is not working, those amps are gonna go up. So don't misdiagnose a fuel pump for this other stuff. You wanna make sure all that other stuff is working properly. Now that we have that explained, Sylvia, you got any questions on that so far? So
well,
we know.
I do have a question, but I don't think it has anything to do with the power or anything of what you were talking about.
Okay, a question as in
with the fuel.
Okay.
Now I already knew that there was a return line on the fuel, right? Goes back to the tank. But my question is why? Why doesn't it pull out? Oh, that was the funniest looking thing. But why didn't it just pull out whatever it needs so they don't have to return what's unused?
Oh, I'm not the engineer on this mess. I don't know why they do that. I don't know. Maybe when they designed the pump, they can't control what that pump puts out. But check this out. Sylvia mentioned that. Check this out, guys. On a lot of newer vehicles, they did. To your fuel pump, you have a positive and a negative. This is going to be 12 volts, and this is going to be 12 volts ground. 12 ground. Now, what they did now, what you laughing for?
Nothing.
Now, what they did was that if you got 12 volts going here, you're supposed to have a 12 volt ground, 12 ground. What they did, the computer controls this. Now, the computer might put this at 6. So now that pump is it's not putting out. So that's the new system they got out now that they're doing this.
Does it make sense?
I don't like that though. That means the fuel. That means I don't know. Whatever. There we go.
I mean, why not? Why doesn't the computer? Because the computer controls the fuel pump, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So why doesn't the computer say I only need this much?
I don't know. Maybe that's what they're doing now. Maybe by doing that, that's what they're doing. I don't know, man. What the heck? I'm not an engineer. She acts like I'm an engineer. My job is just to fix it. Our job is just to fix the stuff. Now, I don't know. I don't know why can't they just have this running. I don't know. Whatever. Anyway.
If there's any engineers out there, can you please answer my question?
What, you going to get a backyard people answering?
No, no backyard. I want to see a degree.
All right. So we that's explanatory now. You got that? Everything good about that?
Yeah.
All right, guys. Let's get right to it. We'll be right back. All right, guys. Before we go any further, what you're going to need is you're going to need a multimeter. But you're going to need a multimeter that'll be able to check amperage. And you're going to know that by there's going to be a little slot that says 20 amp over there. You're going to need that and you're going to need the famous Ortel AL 539. Yeah, buddy B. this machine is bad. You're going to need one of these. And this already has it. All right. Then also what you're going to need is I'm going to put these to the side. Guys, you're going to need fuse eliminator, a fuse eliminator set. This comes in 3 of them. All right? Because you're going to be taking out the fuse to the fuel pump, but you're going to need to replace it with one of these. All right? We'll be right back. All right, guys, the first thing you want to do is want to locate where the fuse is to your fuel pump. We have a 2006 Kia right now, and it's going to be located right under this cover right here. This is the power distribution box. So we're going to open that up, and whatever cover you're going to get, you want to turn it around, and you want to look at the legend. And then you want to look at where the fuel pump, okay, there's the fuel pump relay, and then right above it, there's the fuel pump. So we're looking at a 15 amp fuse. So we put this down, we grab us something to get out the fuse, and I'm looking for it, okay, and it's going to be this fuse.
No, I can't see. Turn the screen. Where is it? Oh.
Right there. So you're going to take that fuse and pull it out. Alright? We'll be right back. All right, guys, we got our fuse out. Make sure you got your fuse out. Now, the next thing you want to do is find out which one of your fuse eliminators match up to this fuse right here. So, go right here. This is like the 3 little bears.
3 little pigs.
3 little bears. No.
These are 3 little bears.
Well, oh, I mean the 3 bears. You know what I'm talking about.
Goldilocks and the bears.
Yeah, 3 bears. No, Goldilocks and the bears. Goldilocks and the 3 bears. Anyway, anyway, this porridge is too hot. This porridge is too cold. Look at that, it ain't matching up. Bam, that porridge is just right. Yeah, buddy.
I don't like porridge.
All right, so we know this is the one we're gonna need. So what we're gonna do is take this over here. Hey, you want?
No, it don't matter now.
To the box, and you want to put this where that 15 amp fuse was. Perfect. All right, we'll be right back. All right, guys. Now you're not done yet. See these open terminals right here? Now that fuse is not that fuse eliminator. It's not a fuse eliminator. It's not eliminating the fuse at all right now. We have an open circuit right here. In order to close that circuit, we'd have to connect these 2 together. So what you're gonna do is take you 2 pieces of wire with spade terminals on the end. 1 and 2. Now what these have to do is connect in order for this car to run. You don't believe me? Watch this. Now, I'm going to start the car up. The car is going to run for a few seconds because there's gas in the line and all, but then it's going to shut off because this circuit is not complete and the fuel pump is not going to come on. So, and you hear the vehicle stalling out.
I don't hear nothing.
This thing must be good on gas. Check that out. Come on. There it is. Oh my goodness, this thing gotta be great on gas. All right.
You want to buy it? It's for sale.
Yeah. This thing's trying to run. There it is. Okay, guys. Now, to complete the circuit, you're going to bridge these 2 together. Oh, dang it. Dang it. I should have had it better connected, but it's all good. Now, I completed the circuit. Now, it's going to start up. And run good. Run perfect. All right, we're going to disconnect this and we'll be right back. All right, guys, first thing we're going to do is grab your multimeter. You're going to have took your test leads and remember the 20 amp slot.
That's
and
not the 20 amp slot.
Yes, it is. See?
I thought it was the one below it.
No, that one's silly. Okay. I didn't point to that one.
All right.
And you're going to need your ground. Now, you're going to take your meter and you're going to put it down here to the amp scale. You're going to put it right here down, right there it says 20. You're going to turn it to 20. Now, what this does, inside here, now this is going to be acting as a fuse. This unit is going to be acting like a fuse. I got my 2 test leads here. So one end is going to connect right here, and the other one is going to connect on the other side. Now, this is going to be that fuse, so now we actually completed that circuit. Now, once I start this vehicle up now, this is going to show me how many amps that fuse, that pump is pulling. All right, then we can compare it to our chart. All right, you ready, Sivy? 4.79.8. All right, so check that out, guys. We just diagnosed that fuel pump. We're checking it out. So we have successfully misdiagnosed a fuel pump. That's what I'm talking about. Because right now, your tech, your mechanic, he stopped right at this point right now and saying, hey, according to Tim, that fuel pump is good. But no, guys, we're going to put this to the AL 539, yeah, buddy B. We're gonna hook that up. We'll be right back. All right, guys, let's shut this off because we don't need that no more. Let's disconnect it. Let's get that out of the way. Now let's bring over our Ortel. Well, no, not just our Ortel. Let's bring over our AL539B. All right. We cut it on. Hopefully, you can see that good.
You cut it on? Oh.
So
wait a minute, no.
No, okay. Let's
Right there's good.
No, I'm trying to get it to where I can set it up. All right, how's that?
Yep.
All right, guys. So we're gonna go down to multimeter. Okay. Now we're gonna scroll down to the 20 amp. All right. Now, first of all, we already beat the multimeter because now it can show me what the max amps is and the minimum amps. But that line right there is what we're going to be looking for, guys. All right, looking at it. Let me start this up. All right, now, check this out, guys. Now, what's happening here? Look at this. The minimum amp was 4.4. The max is 5.3. Now, according to this right here, we're good. But let's go over here. Now, this over here, this pattern right here is checking the accumulators inside the fuel pump. Now, as it spins. Now, we're going to record this for a little while. And what y'all want it to look, that's supposed to be a nice hill. Nice up and down hill. And if you pay attention, you can see, I can see points. Some of them are points. Some of them are choppy. That's letting me know something's wrong with this fuel pump. Even though this car is running and everything is good, it's telling me something is wrong with this fuel pump. You recording that, Civvy? You got a good Civvy on there?
I'm recording
you got a good, you put your skill to work. Look at that, guys. So we're gonna record this for a little while because we're gonna do a comparison.
That's a little while.
Well, just for a few minutes. All right. Now, what I'm gonna do, guys, we're gonna shut this vehicle off. We're gonna change the fuel pump. And then we're gonna regraph it. That's right. We're gonna regraph it with the Ortel. All right. We'll be right back. right, guys, we got the fuel pump installed, connected. Now, guys, when you're looking at this pattern, you gotta look very carefully, guys. Now, a lot of these quote-unquote know-it-all techs, they want to say, well, you need the milliseconds, you need to open up the frame to really see a difference and all that. Forget them. All right, just forget them. Just pay very close attention. And actually, if you're doing this, record. I think this. Wait a minute, I gotta do this on a video. Recording your waveform so that you can compare with the other one. You gotta look at them very closely to see the difference. All right, so let's cut this on. Auto link. Let's go down to multimeter. Let's go down to 20 amp. Okay. You good, Sippy?
Really?
Oh boy.
You moved it on me, really?
All right. Ready, Sippy? Huh?
Yes!
Oh yeah, guys. Look at the difference on our waveform. Look how smooth those lines are. Now the other one, I'm going to put a comparison of them. And watch how many choppy lines or breakup lines the old one has compared to this one. Now, looking down at the amps, this one has a minimum of 4.5 or 6 points up to 6.0. That's not bad. We're still within range. And why is it up to that? Check it out. The fuel pump we put in here is a Delphi. Delphi is a very, very good fuel pump. And I'm definitely expecting that. It's like on the race cars, you put a high volume fuel pump in. You put a high volume fuel pump in, it's going to pull a little more amps. So you got to know all this when you're doing it. But that pattern is great, guys. Look how smooth that is. Now we got a perfectly diagnosed vehicle. Now we're good to go. We can let the customers have it. Yeah, buddy. You recording that, Sylvie? You recording how good that look?
Yeah.
All right, we'll be right back.
Today we showed you how to graph a fuel pump. Hope you guys understood that, because I don't know, sometimes I have questions. I'm like, what? You know, I don't know. But I'm sure you guys got that. If you want to see more videos like this, make sure to subscribe to our new channel, Auto Online Classes, and I'm sure there'll be a link in the description below. So if you guys have any comments or questions, you can post it below in the comment section, or you can email Timmy at tim@astralautorepairs.com. Hope you paid attention. If not, watch it again. This is Sylvia from Astral Auto Repairs. If we can't repair it, nobody can. See you next time.